I am Andy Hurley here from A Level Ahead, and I just wanted to try doing a bit of streaming. So here's the first small episode, little trial episode of exploring how we can get the best out of our A Level exams, in particular focusing on poetry. Just a little bit about me. I've been a teacher for over 30 years, done lots of things in lots of different areas of education, including examining and principal examining. I've marked A-level poetry for 30 years, and I just wanted to share a little bit about what perhaps some students don't realise, and in particular today focus on the idea of structure. So here we go. There's no magic formula to writing poetry essays, but there are some key ingredients. I've talked already: structure, making sure you have evidence, exploring the poet's techniques, supporting with key quotations from the poems and being selective around those, ensuring that you link to context if that's what your exam board require, and also other alternative critical views or different ways of looking at a poem. If it's a poetry syllabus that requires you to make comparisons, then obviously they're key as well. Now, all those ingredients are important, but fundamentally, one of the key things that you need to do is to ensure that you have a structure to your response. And one of the big mistakes that people make in examinations is that they don't answer the question that's been set, and they answer the question they want it to be set. So it is really important that you spend time looking at the question, thinking about the question, and also planning your response to the question under those exam conditions. So important to have a plan and put together your plan. And in that plan, you can draw together the key ideas, the things that you want to say, and then from that structure which elements of the poem you're going to explore and analyze in detail to show off those other ingredients that we spoke about. But that has to sit around a structure or an argument, a response to the question that has been set. So when you come to exploring those other ingredients, the technique analysis, the contexts, the critics, the comparisons, it is important that at that point you return back to your structure, you return back to your argument. They are fundamental to making sure you have a shape to your response. And I'm going to just close this short session with a couple of suggestions as to how you might revise and how you might go about thinking about doing some exercises that prepare you for that part of the exam where you actually think about what's going to be your response to the question that has been set. One of those is an exercise I've done for many years, and that's it's an oral response. It's not something that you need to write lots for or read up lots for. And it's essentially getting different topics for your particular poet. If we're using John Donne as an example, you can see my study guide in the background there for John Donne. If you've got a poem, an essay question that's about love, or an essay question about death, or about his religious views, can you summarize what are the key ideas you would want to communicate for those particular topics in 30 seconds? Just focusing on the overall key ideas that Donne communicates through his poetry in 30 seconds. And that forces you to be very focused, very specific, and essentially can, if you do it well, give you a structure for an essay that you then unpack the details by looking at the specific poems, by looking at the specific techniques he uses to explore the different elements within love, or the different elements within death, or the different elements within his religious beliefs. A second revision tip for you to undertake, and that's just to make a list of the poems that are in the syllabus that you're following that actually have that as a theme within them, and prioritize them. What are the ones that are the most significant, the most prominent examples where the topic that you are exploring and revising is evident? Because it's really important that you've got plenty to say, and that requires you to select carefully the poems that you're going to write about under those exam conditions. And then for each poem that you put down on your list, and you probably only need 5, 6, 7 poems in total as the key ones that you're going to turn to. Can you summarize in just 2 or 3 sentences what each poem says about the theme? You do that and you end up with quite an effective revision tool, revision reminder that just gives you that overview, that oversight of the particular theme. Handy bit of kind of revisions to go into, and increases the effectiveness of that planning stage within the exam conditions, because you have practiced this. You've practiced in just a short space of time coming up with the key ideas, and that gives you your framework, your structure. I'm going to finish there. If you want more and unpack this in greater detail, I point you to my website, andyhurleyahead.com. Or just put into the search engine A-Level Ahead. It's a membership website which is available at the moment for just £10 for a month. If you're doing your exam shortly, you probably wouldn't want it more than a month, and that'll give you access to over 20-25 poems for John Donne. I'd probably only become a member at this stage if you were studying John Donne, because there's not enough coverage of other poets for it to be worthwhile for you. In addition, if you want to just test it out, see whether it's worthwhile or something that suits you, there's a variety of different kind of resources there that hopefully will support you, including a seminar, some films. There's access to the study guide you can see behind you. Is there for people who become full members. But if you just want to test it out, there is currently a free 3-seminar 24-hour offer. If you just go to the memberships tab on the website, and you'll be able to access up to 3 poems just to explore in a bit of detail and get some of the information and some of the details that I've been talking about here. So in honor of today's first session, I know that nobody will have tuned in because I only set it up 5 minutes ago and didn't advertise it at all, but I'm recording it and I will publish it on the YouTube channel. I have deliberately shaped in a structure my beard so that it turns into a goatee. Looks nothing like John Donne, but it's a reminder, a visual reminder. Structure is key. It's the first point that I would make in an exam, is to structure your response so that you can hang on all those other elements, all those other assessment objectives that are required under the exam conditions. You can hang them onto that framework of that structure. Good luck in your exams, and I look forward to sharing more on how to do well in your exams shortly. Take care.